Hello viewers, welcome to Science TV, Prime News. I am your host Ruth Wairimo, in Sign Language interpreting the voicing is Gideon Maina. Welcome, and let's take you through what happened in the world of news. As the world marks Deaf Awareness Month, the deaf community in Taita Taveta has raised alarm over what it calls a failure to fully implement the 2010 Constitution, which continues to pose significant barriers to their access to basic services. The community asserts that despite the constitutional guarantees for inclusivity and non-discrimination, they continue to encounter a lack of support, particularly in key public sectors. They cite the absence of Kenyan Sign Language interpreters in essential services like hospitals, police stations, and courts as a major challenge. These communication gaps leaves them vulnerable and unable to participate meaningfully in public life. They also highlighted that critical public information, including health advisories and official government announcements, is rarely made available in a format they can understand. This exclusion, they argue, goes against the spirit of Constitution that promises to protect the rights of all citizens.
Kwanza kabisa ningependa kukushukuru kulingana na hii swala ambayo tunaongelea siku ya leo, hiyo katiba na jinsi imetuhusisha sisi watu walemavu. Ni kuwa katiba imeweza kutambulisha sign language kama lugha la tatu katika hii taifa letu la Kenya. Hii ni kuwa kila ofisi la serikali na pia wananchi wanafaa kuzungumza na kuweza kuelewa lugha ya ishara. Lakini kumekuwa na changamoto, manake pia sign language interpreters katika maofisi za ugatuzi, kwa mfano hii county government yetu, unapata unaingia kwa ofisi lakini kuna ile language barrier. So kwa uhakika iko kwa katiba lakini implementation haijafanyika. So kwanza pia napenda kusema kuwa education ya sisi ambao tuko na changamoto ya kusikiza ni changamoto kubwa. Kwanza ningependa kusema katiba ingeangalia hiyo swala la masomo, na pia kama wangeweza kutatua hiyo mambo. Pia upande wa kazi hakujakuwa na ile equality ikifika wakati wa kazi. So tunapata watu wengi tuko nyumbani na ni changamoto.
Hao madef hawajashughulikiwa ipasavyo kwa sababu katika events nyingi umepata kuwa defs wako but the interpreters are not there. So most of the times wanakuwa end up hawapati kenye wenye wanaongea, hawapati kenye kinaongelewa hapo. So wana end up kwa tu hapo kama tu watu tu wa kawaida tu, but hawasikii lolote, wanatoka hapo hawajapata anything ama knowledge yoyote. So naona kama hawajakuwa recognized.
Ningependa pia kupea maoni kulingana na venye katiba inaweza badilishwa. Kwa mfano tukiingia kwa zile nyumba za bunge, parliament, unaona kuna wale representative ambao kuna physical, kuna wale wenye wakana ulemavu wa ngozi, lakini hatuna mwenye ni disability ya kusikia. So nafikiri lazima pia tukue na representation pale katika bunge.
Baringo County Police Commander Julius Kiragu and a team of officers from the South Rift region provided essential food and various goods to Cabernet School for students with visual and hearing disabilities. The donation was made following a Thanksgiving service in Nakuru. According to officers, the gesture was a way to show support for the caregivers, acknowledging their difficult task in looking after the students. Eunice Chesang, the head of the school, expressed her gratitude, offering a vote of thanks on behalf of the institution.
Kazi ngumu ambayo tunaelewa kutokana na ile shida ambayo wako nayo ya maumbile, na tukaona kwamba ni vizuri, the best thing we can do ni kuwapea chakula ambaye iweze kuwasukuma, na kwa sababu tunaelewa ni kazi ngumu ambayo mnapitia ili kuweza kuchunga hawa watoto. Si watu wengi ambaye wanaweza jitolea kile kiasi ambaye mnajitolea kusaidia watoto wetu.
On behalf of Cabernet School of Deafblind, the children, the board of management, the parents, we really want to thank you, idara ya usalama, for this wonderful gesture. Umesema umekuja kwa kiwango kidogo, lakini sisi kwetu hapa kile kidogo unafikiria ni kidogo, kwetu hapa ni kubwa sana. In fact, we really touched the lives of these children and the lives of
Smart boards are often seen as simple classroom tools or office tools, but for persons with disability, they can be a lifeline. From supporting deaf learners with written notes to helping teachers break down complex ideas visually and conduct office presentation, the board plays a vital role in inclusive education. In Kenya, KEP Technologies, based in China, is manufacturing affordable and durable whiteboards while championing accessibility. According to the tech firm, boards are more than written surfaces. They are bridges for communication and inclusion. As Kenyan moves toward disability-friendly learning spaces, innovation like these are helping to write a brighter, more inclusive future.
We are coming to you live from Garden City Mall, first floor right here in K-Max shop. Now we are talking about a very interesting tool. We're exploring a tool that to many might seem just a simple and powerful tool, for example, maybe in classrooms or in office spaces. But we are talking about the smart board, not your usual whiteboard or a usual classroom board, but this is called a smart board or an interactive panel, and it is named as a leader hub, as you can see just right down here. And this is a very, very crucial tool because it not only helps from classrooms to offices, but also the smart board helps us to share ideas visually, either for persons with disabilities, and it can also be a lifeline to persons with disabilities because for the deaf, for example, it enables communication and also support learners with cognitive challenges and also create inclusive spaces for everyone. Now, the reason why we're bringing this particular tool to you is because of its versatility nature or its versatile nature. It can be used, just like I mentioned earlier, from offices, from schools, or in learning spaces. Why is it a very important tool, you might ask, in the inclusion space or in the disability space? It's because it values, or rather it creates that seamless communication between the deaf and the hearing individuals in the society, and it also supports learners with cognitive challenges because of its interactivity. It has that particular ability where you can be able to try and put in, should I say, images, or should I say any kind of content that you have to be able to share to every other individual. And also, it creates, it's very versatile, very easily movable. It has wheels to be able to fit in any inclusion space.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki today expressed strong confidence that the African continent can defeat poverty and insecurity by strategically prioritizing investment in key sectors. Speaking at the 4th Intra-African Trade Fair in Algiers, Algeria, Kindiki stated that a focused approach on intra-African businesses, robust infrastructure development, and accelerated digital transformation is essential for the continent to unlock its full economic potential. The trade fair, which has brought together leaders and investors from across the continent, aims to promote economic integration and boost intra-African trade under the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement.
A very robust digitization program, and we have a few innovations in fintech, especially on mobile money transferring money and making payments, including business transaction payments, by transferring money using the mobile phone. And we hope this will assist, even as the African Continental Free Trade Area, Afrexim Bank, and everyone in this space is working towards actualization and perfection of the Pan-African payment system so that you can have real-time settlements using local currencies, hopefully. And that system is as verifiable as it can be.
The National Assembly Health Committee has called on the government to prosecute individuals behind the fraudulent use of the Social Health Authority funds rather than shutting down entire health facilities. The committee chairman and Seme MP James Nyikal told Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale to focus on arresting and charging the culprits instead of suspending facilities. Nyikal argued that closing down hospitals over fraudulent cases punishes innocent citizens and denies them access to essential health services. On other news, a dispute has erupted between the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, ODPP, and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, over a settlement agreement involving former Migori Governor Okoth Obando. The deal, which aims to drop a 73 million Kenya shilling corruption case, has been opposed by the EACC, which claims it did not sign the agreement. The ODPP has announced that Obado and his co-accused will forfeit asset worth 235 million Kenya shillings, including 2 luxury cars, in exchange for the withdrawal of charges against them. However, the EACC formally objected to the move in court, stating that it was not a party to the agreement that was submitted. Following the objection, the court has ordered the ODPP to provide the EACC with a copy of the settlement agreement within 3 days.
It thus remains the best practice, and I find no ground to fault it. EACC having indisputably participated in the negotiations leading to the plea agreement now filed in this court, it will therefore be prudent that the DPP shares the plea agreement with EACC. Accordingly, this court stays determination, underline that one, stays determination of the other rival questions of law raised by all parties, and directs that within a period of 3 days, the DPP formally shares the specific plea agreement filed in court with EACC.
A fierce fire on Thursday night destroyed property worth millions of shillings at Katani Villas, a gated residential estate in Syokimau. The inferno, which residents says began around 7:30 p.m., quickly spread through several homes, facing and forcing occupants to flee for their lives. Firefighting teams, both from Machakos and Nairobi counties, responded to the scene, battling the blaze late into the night. While they eventually contained the fire, several house units were reduced to charred shells. The cause of the fire is yet to be determined. Investigations are underway.
We were so worried, but the place took us about 4 hours to contain the fire. We could do better, but unfortunately now we have lost 5 homes. I can confidently now report that there are no deaths, no injuries, thankfully, and we thank God for that. The other thing is, yes, in terms of response, we probably would have done better, but Mbavoko had 1 fire engine and they reported in a record 30 minutes. G4S came out for us, Nairobi County also came out for us, so it was quite very nicely coordinated.
Now we'll take a short commercial break and then we'll be back with sports news with me, Ruth Werimo.